Imagine a quiet village where the hum of modern life fades away, and the rhythm of each day is set by the rising sun. Here, in the heart of Amish country, weddings aren't just grand celebrations. They're a reflection of community, love, and tradition. But what truly makes these weddings unique is the feast cooked entirely by the families themselves. No chefs, no fancy equipment, just old-world methods passed down for generations. Think about it: preparing food for hundreds of guests without modern appliances. How do they turn simple, homegrown ingredients into a meal that leaves everyone amazed? Today, we step into their world, a world where every dish tells a story of hard work, patience, and the deep bonds that hold this community together. Ready to uncover the secrets of an Amish wedding feast? Let's begin. In Amish communities, preparing a wedding feast is more than just cooking. It's a deeply rooted tradition that brings the entire community together. Every dish, every task, and every detail reflects their core values of simplicity, hard work, and unity. Unlike modern weddings, where catering companies handle the food, Amish families take a hands-on approach. The feast is prepared in the bride's home with the help of friends, neighbors, and relatives. From dawn till dusk, you'll hear the rhythmic sound of knives chopping vegetables, the crackling of wood in the stove, and the quiet hum of conversation as families work side by side. But what truly makes this tradition special is the spirit of community support. No one is left to handle the burden alone. Men handle tasks like butchering the meat and setting up large tables, while women focus on baking bread, preparing casseroles, and stirring steaming pots of soup. Even children pitch in, carrying ingredients and helping wherever they can. This practice isn't just about feeding hundreds of guests, it's a way of passing down generational knowledge, reinforcing bonds, and celebrating the beauty of working together. For the Amish, the meal is more than food, it's a symbol of love, faith, and the unbreakable strength of their community. Cooking an Amish wedding feast isn't just an ordinary task, it's an intricate process that requires coordination, teamwork, and above all, a spirit of unity. The preparations begin days in advance, with dozens of family members and neighbors gathering to help. Every person, from the youngest child to the oldest grandparent, has a role to play, making it a true communal effort. It starts early in the morning. Men and boys arrive first, handling tasks like butchering the meat and setting up long wooden tables and benches in the barn or yard. The smell of freshly cut wood mingles with the cool morning air as they hammer and build sturdy dining setups that can accommodate hundreds of guests. Meanwhile, the women and girls gather in the kitchen, tying aprons around their waists and rolling up their sleeves, ready to take on the real work, cooking for an entire village. Bread is one of the first things prepared. Large batches of dough are kneaded by hand, the scent of yeast rising as loaves are shaped and placed in pans. Next comes the task of peeling, chopping, and slicing vegetables, potatoes, carrots, onions, all harvested from their own gardens. The rhythmic sound of knives slicing through produce fills the room, accompanied by soft conversations and the occasional burst of laughter. The older women oversee the cooking, ensuring that nothing is rushed. Soups simmer gently in enormous pots, releasing an earthy aroma that fills the kitchen. The main course, often roast chicken or pork, is slow cooked to perfection, its golden skin crackling as it's pulled from the oven. Everything is made from scratch, using recipes handed down through generations. Even the children have their part. They help by carrying trays of food, setting up serving stations, and keeping the space tidy. It's a valuable learning experience and introduction to the traditions they'll one day uphold. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the once quiet homestead becomes a hub of activity. Horses neigh softly in the distance, buggies line the dirt road, and the faint sound of hymns drifts from the nearby chapel. Everyone works in harmony, knowing that the success of the feast depends on their combined effort. There's no rush, no sense of stress, only a shared understanding that this is how it has always been done and how it will always be. By late afternoon, the feast is ready. Long tables are adorned with simple white cloths, and the smell of freshly baked pies wafts through the air. As the guests begin to arrive, the families pause for a moment, taking in the fruits of their labor, feeling a quiet pride in what they've accomplished together. Cooking the wedding feast isn't just a task for the Amish, it's a celebration of life, family, and faith. A process that turns hard work into joy and simple ingredients into something truly extraordinary. In the Amish tradition, cooking a wedding feast is a deeply symbolic act, one that involves more than just preparing food. It's about maintaining traditions, using time-honored methods, and embracing the communal values that bind the community together. One of the most distinctive aspects of the Amish wedding feast preparation is the use of traditional tools. Modern kitchen gadgets like electric mixers and blenders are replaced by wooden spoons, hand-cranked dough rollers, and cast-iron skillets. The hum of electricity is absent instead. The sound of a wood-fired oven crackling fills the air as breads and meats roast slowly to perfection. The simplicity of these tools speaks to the Amish value of humility and craftsmanship. The long, hand-carved knives used to chop vegetables are not just functional, they're a symbol of generations of skill passed down through families. The roles within the family are clearly defined, with each member contributing in their own way. The women are the heart of the kitchen, overseeing the preparation of the main dishes and desserts. They are skilled at baking the delicate pies, apple, cherry, and peach, all made with hand-rolled dough. Their hands move with practiced ease, flipping the dough, crimping the edges, and adding just the right amount of filling. There's a rhythm to it, honed by years of experience, and the result is a feast of baked goods that is both rustic and perfectly made. The men, meanwhile, take on the heavier tasks. They are responsible for butchering the meat, whether it's chicken, pork, or beef. With precise, methodical movements, they break down large cuts of meat, ensuring each piece is ready for roasting or slow cooking. The men also help with setting up tables and organizing the outdoor spaces where the meal will be served. It's a well-coordinated dance, everyone knows their role, and they work together effortlessly, often without the need for much spoken direction. Children, though not yet fully skilled in the ways of the kitchen, also play a significant role. They are tasked with lighter duties such as running errands, carrying ingredients, and washing dishes. These tasks are not only practical but serve as an early lesson in the importance of contributing to the family and community. From a young age, they are taught that every small action has a greater purpose in the communal effort. What makes the Amish wedding feast even more unique is the impact on the community. Cooking the meal is not a solitary endeavor, it's a shared experience, a symbol of how the Amish come together to celebrate life's most important events. The community support is a cornerstone of the practice. Neighbors bring their own specialties to contribute, adding to the variety and abundance of the meal. Whether it's freshly churned butter, homemade cheese, or an extra pie, each contribution is a reflection of love and generosity. This communal involvement is a reminder that for the Amish, a wedding feast is not just about food, it's about faith, tradition, and the collective strength of the family and community. Every action, from the chopping of vegetables to the setting of tables, speaks to a deeper connection to one another and the values they hold dear. In Amish communities, the family plays a central role in cooking a wedding feast, with each member contributing to the process in their own unique way. The father, while not directly involved in the kitchen, takes on the responsibility of overseeing the entire event. He ensures that all the logistics are in place, manages the larger tasks, like setting up tables and butchering the meat, and keeps the day moving smoothly. The mother, however, is the true heart of the feast. She coordinates the meal prep, from baking bread to simmering soups, while also ensuring that her family stays on track. The children, though young, are always nearby. We're always nearby, whether they're fetching water, chopping vegetables, or helping clean up. Their involvement teaches them responsibility and reinforces the importance of working together. Each member's contribution is a piece of a larger puzzle, and their roles are guided by a sense of tradition and togetherness that defines the Amish way of life. While the immediate family is crucial to the wedding feast, the extended family and broader community are integral to the success of the event. Relatives, often from surrounding farms, travel to offer their help with the cooking, food preparation, and setting up the space. Grandparents may provide advice or share wisdom from previous weddings, while cousins and aunts pitch in with specific tasks like baking pies or preparing vegetables. But the real strength lies in the community's contribution. Neighbors join in, not out of obligation, but from a genuine desire to help. Their participation embodies the Amish value of mutual aid, where everyone offers what they can for the collective good. This communal effort not only lightens the workload but strengthens bonds, as each person feels a part of the celebration. In this way, the wedding feast becomes a reflection of the larger Amish community, interconnected, self-reliant, and deeply supportive. The impact of these roles on the overall experience of preparing a wedding feast is profound. The father's calm leadership sets the tone, keeping the family focused and organized. The mother's nurturing presence ensures that the kitchen runs smoothly, allowing the family to bond while preparing the meal. Meanwhile, the children's participation teaches them the value of teamwork and tradition. As the extended family and community come together, the emotional impact of the event is heightened. The sense of unity and mutual support fosters a deep connection between everyone involved, making the feast not just a meal but a shared experience that strengthens both familial and community ties. The roles each family member plays ensure that the event is a true reflection of the Amish way of life, a celebration of faith, love, and community. Though the Amish community holds tradition in the highest regard, there is a practical approach to modernity that aligns with their values of self-sufficiency and communal support. In recent years, some Amish families have adapted to certain modern practices, particularly when they serve the greater good without conflicting with their core beliefs. For example, during wedding feasts, modern conveniences like gas stoves or larger kitchen equipment are sometimes used to streamline the cooking process, ensuring efficiency without compromising the spirit of community and family involvement. Additionally, while the Amish still rely on horse-drawn buggies for transportation, certain Amish groups have embraced solar panels and minimal electrical use to power essential needs such as lights or water pumps. These adaptations are never made lightly, and the community is careful to maintain a balance between utilizing modern tools and preserving their simpler, more traditional way of life. In the Amish community, the integration of modern tools into traditional practices is done with great care, always prioritizing tradition and safety. When it comes to wedding feast preparations, while the heart of the event remains deeply rooted in the Amish way, cooking by hand, using old family recipes, certain modern tools are selectively used to ease the workload. For instance, mixers or blenders may be used for larger batches of dough or batters, making the process faster and less labor-intensive. Similarly, some Amish communities now use gas-powered refrigerators or freezers to store large amounts of food, ensuring that the feast can be prepared safely and efficiently. However, these tools are used discreetly and only when necessary, ensuring that the community still maintains the hands-on, communal atmosphere that defines their traditions. In wedding celebrations, even when modern conveniences make the preparation process smoother, the Amish commitment to working together as a family and community remains steadfast, highlighting their ability to adapt while honoring their roots. These thoughtful adaptations do not undermine the Amish core values, but instead reinforce the community's ability to preserve their way of life while ensuring practicality and safety. By selectively embracing modern practices, Amish families can maintain the cherished simplicity and authenticity of their traditions, ensuring that celebrations like wedding feasts are not only a communal labor of love but also a testament to the resilience of their way of life. The true value of these adaptations lies in the careful consideration of how to embrace progress without losing sight of the values that define the Amish community: faith, simplicity, and togetherness. It's not about resisting change, but about making decisions that enhance the community's ability to stay connected and self-sustaining in an ever-evolving world. The Amish practice of preparing wedding feasts by hand is a reflection of their deep commitment to tradition, community, and faith. It goes beyond just cooking. It's about creating an experience where family members work together to create something meaningful, honoring not only their heritage but also the importance of togetherness. Each dish prepared, each ingredient carefully chosen, is a reflection of the values that have been passed down through generations. For the Amish, a wedding feast is more than just a meal. It's a symbolic act of devotion, cooperation, and love. It speaks to the strength of the family unit and the role of tradition in preserving cultural identity, even in a world that's rapidly changing.